Hello, welcome to Pro Mixing and Mastering. Today I'm going to show you how to mix and balance your beats or instrumentals in FL Studio. You can use any software. So I've got my beat. Let me just close this. I've got my beat and it sounds like this. Alright, first thing that you need to do before you make your beats, because if you don't do this, you're gonna have a lot of problems. So the first thing that you need to do before you start making your beat is to select the right samples within your instruments that are clean. Once you select the clean samples, your beat is really gonna be clean. Select the right samples. For example, this is what I did. I have my kick, this one right here. Let me just do this. I selected the kick, which was really clean. The thing that you do to your kick is, if your kick is too heavy, then try to compress it a little bit. Here is what I did to JAB. My kick, I used a transient processor in FL Studio. Why? I wanted to control some transients, so I processed it a little bit like this. Oops, where's my kick? Right there. So this is how my kick sounds like without the transient processor. So I used transient processor to just control it a little bit and reduce on the it was a little bit heavy to me. What the transient processor does is it reduces those high peaks. Check what is happening here, right there, to stop the kick from really hitting hard, to soften the top end a little bit and the harsh frequencies a little bit. So I added this. I recommend that you use your ears whenever you are listening to your kick. Use your ears, and the moment you discover that the kick is a little bit heavy, try to add a transient processor or an EQ. I can do the same using an EQ, and then work on that frequency like this right there. Little heavy, softened. For example, before and after. Yeah, so it has been softened. So you can use a fruity parametric EQ2 or a transient processor that would do the job for you. You select the right samples. I did my selection. This one was too heavy for me. I spent at least 30 minutes or an hour selecting and trying to find which sample is really gonna represent that beat very well. So I did my selection. I started selecting. Oops, too heavy. No. Oops. Yeah. All right. This one sounds better. I can still work on it a little bit. So I put it right there. That's my kick, and that should be your kick. Find a snare that is gonna represent your beat very well, like this. Without. Then number 2, avoid overlaying of instruments. Don't overuse instruments or fill up your beat with a lot of instruments. Just play in instruments that are just gonna sound good, even 4 or 5. If it sounds good to your ears, then just leave it there. Don't overlay. The moment you put a lot of instruments, your beat is not gonna sound good. Your beat is gonna sound noisy. So avoid overlaying instrumentals. Your mix. Then number 3, do not use sharp or noisy samples or distorted samples. Don't use, for example, noisy samples. Let me just load in Nexus like this. Here we go. Let's say you want to make something like this. See, this instrument is not really gonna suit in this one. So no matter how much you love that instrument, if it's not meant to be in your beat, don't use it. So avoid using sharp and noisy samples or distorted samples. Don't use distorted samples unless you know how to really EQ. But if you don't know how to pan the sample, you don't know how to EQ it properly, I advise that you go for softer sounds. Like, for example, if this one is too much, then I can go for something that is a little bit softer, a softer sample that is not too noisy, something like this. So this sample is gonna create room for my vocals to sit well whenever I want to put some vocals into some rap vocals, or some I want to sing in that instrumental. That sample is really gonna accommodate my vocals because it is not too distorted, it's not noisy, it does not swallow up other instruments. Use your mixer to level volumes. Always use your mixer. As you can see, I have this sent to my mixer, sent to my mixer, sent to my mixer, sent to my mixer too. Then also right here, the channel volume, I had balanced them a little bit and just leveled them a little bit. What you do is you really have to find out which instrument is higher than other instruments. For example, I'm just gonna increase the volumes of everything. Some of the instruments are too high, so what you do is take a listen to the instruments, and the moment you discover that a certain instrument is a little bit higher, then reduce it. For example, there's or you can go to your mixer, just go to your mixer. This one right here is a little bit higher, so this is how you balance it. You level it. Then this one too is a little bit higher. You can see that it's almost distorting. This one too. So what I'm doing right now is trying to level instruments so that they can sound good together. Cut or boost instruments. What do I mean by cutting or boosting instruments? Cutting is whenever you discover that. Let me go back to the mixer. Whenever you discover that a particular instrument has too much lows and the bass is too much, it's really not allowing other instruments like the kick and the bass to sit together, what you do is throw in an EQ. So for example, I'm gonna get Fruity EQ2, and if this area is a little bit buzzy, this is not really gonna compensate my instrument, my beat, and other instruments are not really gonna sit the way they are supposed to sit. So what are you supposed to do when you discover that a certain instrument is a little bit heavier, is a little bit punchy or distorted, or is swallowing up other instruments? So what you do is put in an EQ. Fruit Parametric EQ2 is what I'm recommending because you can see the visuals, you can see what is happening around. So what you do is cut, and if you discover also that it's a little bit sharp and you want that warmth to the beat or the instrumental, because there are certain instruments also right there, there might be instruments right there which are a little bit higher. So sharp, I mean in the range of 5 to 10K. So what you do is search for those frequencies which are a little bit sharp, so you can reduce it. You can reduce the frequencies a little bit like this. So I want it a little bit warmer, so what do? Reduce it to around 3. and it sounds good. That is going to create room for other samples. And the other thing that this is going to create is that the instrument or the beat is going to be very clean. Every instrument, every sample that is playing in there is going to be heard. And then I said boost or cut. So what I was doing right now, I was cutting out unwanted frequencies, those frequencies which are bassy and boxy or sharp, so that my instrument can be clean. What do I mean by boosting? In case maybe the instrument is really thin and it's not really, the instrument is not coming out, and if it's the main instrument, for example like this, the body is not there. So what you do is you can boost it up a little bit like this. And number 6, if you are using more than 2 pianos or instruments having the same sound, pan some to the right and some to the left. You can pan them from here. For example, you have a lot of pianos or strings, more than 4 strings or more than 2 strings. What you do is pan 2 of those strings to the right and left, and the other one can remain on the center. Why? So that there can be room for other instruments to play. And let's say you don't wanna take it completely to the left. You can still give it a 45%, and that really is gonna work well in your instrumental. And once you're done, make sure you add a limiter. Fruity Loops always has a fruity limiter, so this one is really good. So this is gonna help to bring out the loudness and also to just put a ceiling. And this is how you balance your beats or instrumentals in an easy way. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more great videos.